The assessments, I had to change them through the course and make them a little bit easier than I normally do. What I did instead was 5-question quiz every 2 weeks. I didn't make them multiple choice. I made them short answer, so they would have to write some. I had them open book. So I didn't want them to have the materials and then be like tempted to cheat. The thing was though, I made them so that they were only 30 minutes long. And so if you had to look up every answer, you weren't going to pass the quiz.
For me, it was pretty similar to how it would be in person, luckily. So mine's open book and open note. And the only way you can really cheat on it is just by working with somebody else. I basically gave them a notebook that had the questions in there and all of the like kind of functions and like Python modules that they would need to work with it. And then what the goal was, they had a week to be able to analyze it, and then they had to describe what they did.
It was pretty much the same, the assessment method. I didn't give points. We just did check, check plus, and check minus. And if we weren't going to do grades, let's see if not having grades, whether people will stay motivated, and they did.
For assignments and assessments, we had a lot of kind of short responses that we thought would be easier for the students to manage given everything else that was going on. And so we would offer just basic feedback on those, but they were either graded 1 or 0. And the grade for the final products was a credit, no credit, 1 or 0. Really with the goal of trying to make sure all the students succeeded in the class and that they all were able to learn something in the midst of a pandemic.
The final assignment for a class in human evolution, a big lecture class, is typically a final exam, and I have them do group projects. And I worried about having them do group projects, especially when those projects usually involved measuring and working with an actual object. That would be challenging, I think, in a remote situation. And so instead, I implemented was what's called an unessay, is an assignment in which the students can, through whatever medium they're comfortable with, produce a final project that engages with the material that they learned in class. The students get to express what they learned in a creative way. They also, because they're not being graded in the typical fashion, because it was a credit, no credit term, I think they felt liberated and able to take some chances.